All right, hello y'all. Welcome back to the channel. Marky here. Welcome to How It's Growing. I know you'll probably see later in the footage that said we're going to go to the balcony garden last, but I decided to start with the balcony garden first. So here we are. I'm showing you my herbs. You saw the rosemary. You see my varieties of mint. That is sweet mint and mojito mint up there, and then next to that we have catnip, which I'm showing you. And yes, I am going to harvest all of those things. I think I'm going to actually make like some mint lemonade, so stay tuned for that. And then down below is another mint variety that is the spearmint. So I have a lot of mint, and I tend to do a lot of mint each year because I really like it, and there's so many things you can do with it, and the flavor really is good. That is my lemon balm that's still struggling to recover. I think I'm going to work on that one a little bit this weekend to kind of give it a little bit of a little makeover. And then we have the Greek oregano, and if you're wondering what that can be used for, it can do really good seasoning, especially with like spaghetti sauce. We have my good old citronella plant and the Thai basil, which is blooming beautifully. If you guys have never seen basil blooms, they're so pretty. Sweet banana peppers right here. There are actually two of them, and I think I do get you a view of both of them. And I also have already picked one, the very first one that showed, and it's actually turning red, which is pretty cool. Because usually I'm used to sweet banana peppers being, this kind of lime green color, but even since I plucked it, it's turned. These are my two basil varieties: the sweet basil, so further, and then you have the fresca. And here are my strawberries, and I think, guys, that fertilizer worked because I actually have some very tiny berries that are trying to make their way, to life. And given all this going on, again, with the bacteria situation, I'm happy that I might be able to produce some little strawberries. So they're coming slowly but surely. They are coming. And we've also had a good bit of rain, and so that's been a blessing. I think it has helped everything kind of perk up. This is one of my tomato plants. This is actually the big husky one. Even though the name says, big husky, they aren't large tomatoes. They are what they call snacking tomatoes, so they're smaller in size. So the size you see is the size that they will be when they ripen, as you can see right here. But I have like three that I've already picked, and then all of these now are starting, like the tomato plants are just going crazy. So I have a ton, as you'll see, of tomatoes on both plants. So the other plant is the sun sugar plant. They're right next to each other, and some of the bushes are kind of branches are kind of leaning over each other. As you can see, that's a sun sugar one that's probably about ready. It does have that yellow orange color. That is the ripe color for that one. It's not a red tomato. It's more of that red orange. So yeah, those two are doing very well. So nothing else. My tomato plants are thriving, and I do have to water them. Sometimes I end up watering them twice a day because they do take a lot of water. And of course, we're going to check in with the peppers. These are the giant Marconi. You can see the buds there, so eventually, something's going to come, hopefully, with those. And I did go ahead and get them their support gates so that they can have some support once the peppers start coming in, and to keep those branches upright because they are leaning towards the sun and pulling towards the balcony. So I put those support gates there. Same, this is the green bell peppers. As you can see, I was trying to zoom in there. There is an actual pepper forming where you see that kind of long stem. So that is the actual pepper coming in now. It's not just a bud, and hopefully those white flowers will also start producing soon. But it's a very pretty plant. I do love that. But that's the green bell pepper. But I was trying to make sure you guys could see that is an actual pepper coming in. So yay. This was not the plant I meant to buy, but I got it on accident. But here we are. All right, y'all, let's take a look at the house plant. So here we have the house plants I have sitting on my IKEA stand, as well as the succulents here. I don't show them very often because they don't do too much. There's not a lot of changes with them. There's my neon down on the bottom, doing very well. And before I forget, here is my Monstera plant, and it has produced a new leaf. So I'm so excited to show that. I always feel so good when a new leaf comes along. It's actually backwards, so we're looking at the back side of the leaf. Let's see if we can stand it up. So here is the newest Monstera leaf there, as you can see where it came from. And I actually do have a photo, and I think I showed you guys last time where it was still kind of rolled up, but now it has unrolled and it's becoming a full new leaf. So love that for the Monstera. Not too many other changes with the house plants, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on them. I will just zoom in on the white wizard because it does have some new leaves. I think I showed these last time, but just so you can see them. You can also see that there are more coming in, as I explained before. When you see some of those, some of these kind of thicker parts coming in, that can indicate new leaves. So just so you can see that it is continuing to grow and produce new leaves. So not much there. So we're just going to take a walk over to the Aerogarden. As you can see, there is a lot going on over here. So we have romaine, which yes, this romaine could easily be used now if you want to put it on a burger or make a little, mini side salad or something. That romaine is ready to go, so it is doing very well. There's another romaine here, as you can see, it has started. It's on its way up, and then behind there, this one, the other one in the back does have a sprout, but it's just there. It's not very tall. I don't know what it's going to do or if it's going to make it out or not. And of course, you can see clearly the cinnamon basil here is off and running. And if you have been following me for a while, you know I've grown cinnamon basil here before. And the last plant just grew crazy, crazy, crazy and gave me tons of basil. So all of these are done from seed. So I purchased seeds and put them in the pods and grew them. So everything is from seed. And with all the, I forgot the name of the actual virus, but the virus now that's on a lot of the fresh fruits and veggies, and especially things like bag lettuce, berries, strawberries, all of that. I'm so happy that I have Aerogardens and that I can grow my own lettuce that I like. And I honestly have been doing that for years. I haven't had a bag salad in many, many years, even before things started going crazy. And I never really ordered them when we go out, like when you go out to eat and you have an option for a salad. I never order it. So pretty much only time I had salad was at home or in a home environment, like a cookout or something like that. And now, I grow my own, and for me personally, I only eat what I grow when it comes to the lettuce. So that is, my goal. So I don't have to worry about, it always being bacteria or something on my lettuce. And I love romaine, and that's usually, for whatever reason, that tends to be the lettuce that gets impacted the most. But now I think it's like any bag salad, regardless of the type of lettuce. But I know there have been times when specifically romaine lettuce that was impacted. So no diarrhea lettuce here. So hopefully that's one perk. If you've ever been thinking about, getting an Aerogarden or something, that's one reason to get one, is so that when things like this happen, you can still enjoy things that you like without having to worry about where they came from, what chemicals might be on them, what happened to it between the time that it got to from the store to you, or packaged and produced and all that. Exactly from start to finish what was going on. So highly recommend getting an Aerogarden, or growing them from seed yourself outside. If you have a spot, you can grow it inside, outside, anywhere you have some good light and water, you can grow something. So don't be discouraged if you don't have a lot of outside space, or if you don't want to buy an Aerogarden. The Aerogarden is the easiest way, especially if you don't have anywhere outside, or maybe you don't get a lot of light in your outside areas or have windows. But definitely recommend. And then we're just going to travel to my other Aerogarden where the kale is ready, as you guys can see. And then this is the other romaine that was already growing. As you can see, it's a ton of romaine lettuce ready. So I could really probably take like that plus what's growing in the other one and make a decent salad. But just wanted to show you what's going on with those. And you guys have seen the houseplants. And of course, we'll wrap up with the balcony garden. So before we do go out there, just want to thank you guys for watching. And also, let me know what you think. Hopefully you guys can hear me over there. I'm right next to the AC and it's on. But let me know what you guys think about all this, bacteria outbreaks, virus outbreaks with things getting on our food. And why do you think that's happening? You might as well show you guys the other houseplants while we're talking. But yeah, what are your thoughts on, things happening, and what's going on, and just how do you feel about that as, a consumer and someone who probably buys fresh fruits and vegetables, especially this time of year. This is like prime time for fruits and vegetables, the summertime. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on that. And is that something that's making you either considering growing your own if you don't already, or making you get more into like trying to grow more of your own produce or things that you like to eat? Make sure you like and subscribe and check back every Sunday for more How It's Growing updates.